So it's March. It's March. It's the month of spring. It's the month where
Month of new beginnings.
new beginnings. There's going to be
Fresh
a change. It's not happening.
No.
Got bad news. It's still freezing outside. I hope it's warm where you're watching this.
Definitely not here.
We're planning to go to someplace warm in the not too distant future, but the groundhog, I guess, was right.
He nailed it this year.
He was right. He said 6 more weeks. What is
At
it?
least.
6 more weeks?
At least.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't gone to see him in person. Have you seen him in person?
No. I went to college very close by, but
Yeah.
somehow I avoided that.
Yeah, I've lived here for 20-something years. I've never been there.
Maintain more of my brain cells.
I think
than
it used to be funner. I think it used to be funner back in the day.
In the Bill Murray days when he was there.
That's right.
For
My
the
son
movie.
just watched that movie and was
Total
reminded
classic.
how great it was.
It was.
Awesome movie.
Yeah.
So welcome to your March 4Thought. I'm Nathan. This is Lauren. Last month we talked about the most exciting thing. We're gonna try to top that this month, but we talked about bonds, fixed income, interest rates last month, and thanks for all who watched that. We got a lot of views on that and some likes. We appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and I think it's because it's on the news nonstop, right?
Yes.
Whether that's on X or Twitter or your friends are talking about it on Facebook. What's going on with interest rates? Are they up? Are they down?
When
What's
am I
going on with
gonna
mortgages?
refinance?
When can I do that? And I think another thing that we have been seeing on the news recently. Again, for better or for worse, bad things sometimes happen, and whether that's the floods in North Carolina or the fires in California, it got us thinking a lot about, what can we do to help people in those circumstances?
Yeah, and are we letting folks know that we work with what we do in that regard? Can we help in that way? And we're trying to protect you, right? We're planners, so we're putting together a plan. We're managing assets. We're telling you what makes the best financial decision at this crossroads when you have decisions to make. But we also want to extend that that idea of protection and help to extend to more than just your portfolio and more than just life insurance and disability, which of course we do, and that's part of all our financial planning as well.
Yeah, and what I like to say, I don't know if Nathan's ever heard me say this, is even if we put together the perfect portfolio and everything's going well, if you have some kind of catastrophic event, if you had some kind of act of God that we haven't prepared you for, then all that work is really for naught. And a lot of people are probably thinking to themselves, well, I have homeowners insurance, I have car insurance, I'm all set. And maybe you are, maybe you aren't. We really don't know because we probably haven't talked to you in depth about what that means. So, maybe Nathan could just say one or two things about, you have homeowners insurance, but what could the risk be if I already have homeowners insurance?
Yeah. Well, you just bought a home. Are you insured to fully replace that home? If you have a homeowner's insurance policy you've had for years, have you looked at that recently? Is it matching up equivalent to the value of your current home? Real estate's changed a lot in the last 4 or 5 years. When's the last time you had that reviewed? Do you have specific items that you own? Collectibles. A lot of our clients collect things. How many watches do you have?
Yeah, so, you bring up a good point. As I was moving, I was thinking to myself, number one, how did I accumulate so much garbage? And number two, what happens if I lose? Like, there's some precious items, whether those be to me or my family or anything else. What if I lose those? I've never asked my insurance company to cover, whether it's watches or people have maybe jewelry that they've bought.
Artwork.
Sure. It can be a lot of different things. And, just like you identified, one thing is, okay, what if a catastrophic event happens and my house floods or it burns down? But also, what if I have a party at my house and someone slips and falls and there's an accident? What am I covered for?
Sure. You like to entertain. You like to have people over. It's fun. Come on over to the house. I'm sure gonna invite people over. You have a birthday party coming up for your son.
That's right.
You got your new house. You're gonna invite people over. Making sure that you're covered in the event that something happens there. Make sure you're covered for liability. Do you have the right plan in place?
Yeah. So I don't want to beat a dead horse. I can go off on a tangent on that, but really, just like Nathan said, feel free to talk to us about it. We want you to know that we have the ability to help evaluate some risk management items around those things that maybe you haven't thought about.
Right, and I think I think you said that very well, and we'll come around at the end and kind of come back to you with some next steps and some action items that you can do if you'd like to pursue those things. In extension of this conversation that we also thought about was, I got 3 spam calls probably on my drive into work today. And I think all of us are familiar with these phone calls or text messages, fraudulent emails, phishing attempts, etc. There's been a lot of organizations that have had your data, my data, everyone's data, depending on, through your electronic devices, through organizations that have your medical information, your tax information,
Sure.
et cetera. There's been a lot of data breaches.
I can think of a dozen companies in the past 12 months that have reported a data breach. And a lot of those companies will give you some kind of temporary alleviation of that by saying, hey, we'll monitor your identity for a month or 6 months or something like that. But what happens if something happens after that time frame?
Yeah, and you can't put, what is it? You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Too late.
I mean, so your information is out there sometimes a lot of times more than you'd like. And so to make sure that that's not being used to take out credit in your name, to make sure that you're more protected, or as protected as we can be, right? We're talking about protection. So we offer for all of our clients, they can subscribe to a service we would pay the fee for called EverSafe. And that EverSafe service is going to monitor the dark web. It's going to monitor your credit report. It's going to monitor for someone maybe who trying to attempt to take out credit in your name.
Yeah, so it's identity and fraud protection.
Mm-hmm.
And just like we had kind of mentioned, Nathan's a savvy guy, so those text messages, he kind of realizes that those are a scam. Maybe not everybody in our lives has that mental capability. Maybe
sometimes they're pretty good.
Sometimes they're very good, right? So
Yeah.
So one thing I always say is the EverSafe, if you're not sure, you can contact them directly. Tell them about the text message or the email or the Facebook message that you got, and they'll be able to give you some information because they're constantly monitoring those kind of things. They're being proactive.
Sure.
They have all the AI technology that's doing the risk mitigation on those. And also, and I know Nathan has a specific circumstance, if someone calls you on the phone and you're not sure, you can dial them in directly. Or maybe you've already done something that you're not sure you should have done, you can call EverSafe directly. Maybe you can share a little bit about that.
Yeah, I had a story that I spoke to you about earlier, maybe 3 years ago now. Client had already been taken advantage of. Unfortunately, didn't involve me at the beginning, right at the onset, and already had given away some money.
And some information probably.
And information, yes. And so then involved me kind of, a little late in the process, but I'm glad she did. I contacted EverSafe, put them in touch with my client. I actually went off to a meeting, came back 2 hours later, and then contacted EverSafe, contacted my client, and got the information that they shared with me, which is, they basically stopped the fraud that was going to take place, which she was prepared to, give away more assets and give away more information. So I'm really glad that she did involve me when she did, and I was able to use the resources that we have for our clients in EverSafe.
So just like you said, I think that was a great example. Another service that we offer, because there's things that we can't protect against. There's things that we're doing with the portfolio and the plan that we're proactive about. We also react to things that happen to make adjustments, but there's some things that are out of our control that we want to make sure we're doing as much as we can. Speaking of things that maybe we don't do with the portfolio directly, that maybe people have exposure to, we know clients that own crypto, that own physical assets, whether that be gold or silver. It could be coins, it could be artwork, it could be all these different things. Or maybe you do have those and you haven't told us about those because you didn't think it was important to the plan, but it has some kind of value to you. We want you to know those things can also be insured against.
Yeah, we can help you protect those things as well.
So Nathan was saying cybersecurity. Cybersecurity can be your personal data, and the way the supercomputers are, right? I keep reading about advances that they're going to be able to hack into your crypto wallets. So if that happens, data breaches and things like that, insurance companies have caught up, and they've provided some additional measures that can help with that. So even though we don't offer crypto directly to clients, we also want to make sure that we've built a network of professionals that we can refer you to help with those kind of items.
Yeah, definitely. So let's circle back and just say, so we're talking about protection, we're talking about insurance, we're talking about those things. What's the action items for someone listening to this that says, okay, there are some things I probably need to disclose to Lauren and Nathan, and then what are the next steps I need to do? So I would say, gather your policies, right?
Yep.
Which policies would we start with?
I would encourage everybody. So let's say this. I'll do the 30,000 feet because you're the details guy. I would encourage everybody to think about us doing an overall risk management review for you on anything that you hold of value outside of the portfolio.
Right.
So just like you said, homeowners policy, your car insurance.
Life insurance, of course.
Yeah, and your workplace, maybe you're getting life insurance and disability through those things. There may be things that are specific to your company, so maybe you get a 60% income replacement, but they cap it at a certain dollar amount, or that's pre-tax. So we can help you evaluate if that makes sense for you and your family as well.
Yeah, so
What items
share
did I forget?
policies. No, I think that's it. Just sharing policies like your life insurance, sharing policies, doing a review of your auto, your home policies, any liability policies that, or maybe when we're doing this comprehensive 30,000-foot kind of risk management
That's
review, well said, maybe we find some blind spots that you hadn't thought of, and you have some policies in place that are great, but here are some things that we can identify that maybe you haven't, that might be overlooked, you haven't thought of, and we can help you ensure those.
Yeah, so I'll try to wrap it up. Every month we put these newsletters out. We hope they have value. I want to make sure that people understand we're trying to do this because we want you to offload your stresses and worries onto us so that you have a more peace of mind and you can go about doing what you do best every day, which is enjoying your life with your friends and family. So as always, we appreciate all the time that you give us. Thank you so much, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you very much.